Hi, I'm Vanessa Feltz. Welcome to my exclusive interview. The process of writing the book was really weird, because writing an entire book about yourself is weird, because you don't want to come over as a total egomaniac who thinks every single thing you did was of tremendous interest to the universe, what you had for breakfast and what you said to your mum on the way up the stairs to school. So you feel a bit self-conscious about writing it at all. On the other hand, if you don't put anything in, there's nothing there. So it is your autobiography. So it's this whole kind of thing about not getting totally carried away with yourself and above and beyond yourself and making everything of incredible significance. But on the other hand, remembering the things that were quite significant. Obviously, I'm single now, so you could say every single relationship has been a total disaster, couldn't you? But I do think quite a lot of what's happened to me, or what I've put myself through, and I take full responsibility, I'm not blaming anyone, but I think quite a lot of it has to do with the upbringing, which was all about you must get married, you've got to get married, find yourself a husband if it's the last thing you do, the first thing you do, hurry up, oh my God, how old are you, 18? Oh God, and you're not married, And it was really like that, and that's not an exaggeration, I really mean it. It's that feeling of, oh please, choose me, for God's sake, choose me, not a feeling of, well, I might not choose you actually. Oh, you want me? Hooray, good! And that's not a good way to live. The problem, of course, is that if you're brought up that way, and if you kind of feel that thing, and it kind of sinks into your soul and your DNA and the way you think about yourself and life and everything else, it's quite difficult not to sort of repeat the pattern. And my real feeling is, oh dear, some of the time, not all of the time. Sometimes I made some great decisions. I've had some wonderful times. I've got 2 beautiful daughters. I've got 4 amazing grandchildren. And I've had an absolutely rollicking career, which I never expected to have. Loads of it's been great fun and continues to be great fun. But, some of it has not been all that great. And I don't know what people reading it will think. I wonder what people reading it will think, really. Will they just think I'm an absolute fool, maybe? And if they do, they won't be wrong, obviously. I definitely think that my last relationship has put me off dating. I mean, this may sound horrible, but unfortunately, it's true. Anyone who's kind of a wannabe. Because wannabes, I'm sure some wannabes are really lovely, but I think some other wannabes have just got their eye on the main chance and they really want to just grab your coattails and they want you to drag them up a red carpet. So somebody who's just like hovering on the outskirts and would like to use me as a kind of bridge into something, even if it's just the free champagne, I'm not up for it anymore. I've done too much of that, thank you very much. But I didn't see how I could possibly write my autobiography and not write it. After all, I was in that last relationship for 16 and a half years. So if I hadn't written anything about it, it would have been a bit of a short autobiography, and I'd have had to finish at the age of 44 when I'm actually 62. So I had no choice really but to write about it. I suppose one of the things that being this old, 62 years old, has taught me is, what do children want from their parents? And I've got children and grandchildren, and I can't imagine shooting either down in flames. All I ever want to do to them is say, I love you, you're amazing, you're such fun, you're great company, that's a lovely picture you've done. I don't want to say, this is bad about you and that's not good, and why don't you stand up straight, and if you don't lose weight, no one will ever marry you, and all this kind of thing. Why would I want to do that? So once I had my own children, it really did become even more kind of mystifying to me, really, how enormously critical my parents were. And the thing was, I really did do everything I was expected to do. I did really well at school, I worked really hard, I went to Cambridge, I did really well at Cambridge, I married the Jewish doctor that my grandma chose, I live around the corner from them, I had 2 beautiful babies, and I wasn't sure what else I could have done, because those were really my only options. It's not like I could have, as I say in the book, won the Nobel Peace Prize or something. What else could I have done, for God's sake? And they were still always critical, and they sort of condemned my choices all the time. Mostly they didn't like the way I looked because they said I was too fat. They'd sometimes say that to me several times a week, because I might see them say 3 or 4 times a week, and each time they, oh God, you're so fat. Why are you so fat? Oh, you look terrible. Why do you look so terrible? You shouldn't. If you lose weight, I'll buy you a dress. If you lose weight, I'll send you to a health farm. I'll do that if you just lose weight. And it was just a constant refrain. And obviously, it wears away at your self-confidence. Of course it does. You're only a child. Bloody hell, So you just feel like, oh God. And also, as I say in the book, it makes you hungry. If your parents, particularly your mother, don't want to feed you because they don't want you to get any bigger than you are and you're 9. I mean, how can you not get any bigger than you are when you're 9? It's ridiculous. And also, I did think my mother didn't mean it horribly. I think she just didn't want me to be fat. I think she had always felt too fat herself, even though she wasn't particularly fat. I just felt, you know, quite sort of belittled or diminished, or whatever word you want to use. And I never stopped wanting to please them. I always wanted to please them. I don't know why. I don't know why I didn't just think, well, I'm never going to please them, so just shove off. But I didn't. And then my mother died at the age of just 57. She's been dead just coming up for 29 years, and I miss her terribly. So it's, you know, it's a mixture of sort of love and, I suppose, sadness to some extent. And I mean, I don't know what to say. I think parent and children relationships can be very complicated. And, you know, I hope I haven't sort of made them seem to be bad people, because I don't think they were bad people. It's just, I think their parenting skills were maybe could have done with a bit of sharpening up, maybe. I'm just pleased to be alive. You know, my mum died at 57 and I'm 62, and that's an achievement. So my body has somehow kept me alive and kept me energetic and full of, you know, oomph and ambition and drive and fun and all of that. So I'm not, you know, castigating my own body for not looking like Elle Macpherson's. I never looked like her anyway, and that's that. I wasn't genetically ever going to look like that. So I'm just grateful to my body, really, and not sort of consumed with criticism of my own body. I think when I was 22, I would have chosen a lasting and loving marriage over any career at all, because it was the most important thing to me, and I still think the same thing. Actually, I haven't changed. I think, especially having had children. So having got married and having had children, how could you choose any career over your children and their security and your family life and the joy that I'm never going to have, which would be, you know, going with your actual husband to visit your grandchildren, and they're both of your grandchildren, and you're together and you're celebrating in exactly the same way the next generation of your mutual family. Well, I've never had that, never going to have that, because I've had a divorce. So could I or would I have chosen a career over a lasting and happy marriage? Definitely not, and I still wouldn't. And I've been single for 21 months and counting, as you can see. It's the longest I've ever been single since I was born, you know, and it's not my happy state at all. I don't like it very much, but I'm certainly not plunging in with any old renegade that happens to bowl along and say, oh, I like your eyes or something. And I go, oh, thanks so much, I love you. You know, here you are, here's my checkbook, come and let me take a kidney, you know, what would you like? Could you let me please let me give you half my house immediately, oh, thank you. So I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that. I think I have, listen, I've got to have learned something through all of this, haven't I? And I hope I've learned that anyway. I do believe in love, yes, I do believe in love. I hope that at some point, one day, and I will find true love again. I would love to find love that I love and that I fancy and that I think is funny and that I think is kind and that I just adore and who loves me. I mean, I'd like to be able to say to a man, I love you. I mean, I love doing that sort of thing. I really miss it, and I miss a partner. And you know, Linda Robson, my pal, she's like, oh, I don't want that. You know, I don't need a man. What do I need that for? And absolutely not, definitely not. But that's not how I feel. However, I'm not prepared to settle in the way that I unfortunately have done in the past. I'm not going to do that. So it's not desperation, but it would be a complete lie if I said I wouldn't like at some point to meet a nice bloke who I could have fun with in a nice time, because I would like to. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my exclusive interview. I hope you enjoyed it. See you later. Lots of love.